What's up guys, welcome to another video on car maintenance, and I hope you like my previous videos. I'll link to the bottom or top wherever in this video, but please like and subscribe. But in this video I want to go over two simple things that you could do to maintain your car. Literally these are DIY that anyone with a screwdriver and a flashlight can do of nearly any skill level. So what I'm going to go over today is the filters in your car. There's two filters that you could save yourself a lot of money instead of going to the dealership or your auto repair shop to do it. It's a simple thing that anyone can do. It's replacing the air filter in your engine and your cabin air filter. So I'm going to go over that. And also I'm going to give you a tip towards the end of this video on how to save lots of gas. Basically your miles per gallon or the efficiency of your car. A simple hack to fix that. But I hope you guys like my video and enjoy it, but let's get right to it. So some points before we start. You might want to go to your local AutoZone and actually go get air filters for your engine. So basically you just need to go there and ask them, what kind of air filter do I need? Or go to your dealership if you want the genuine parts. I personally prefer genuine parts, and there's always a debate of whether you should go with the actual OEM original filter from the dealership or Honda, Acura, or if you go with STP or those aftermarket manufacturers. I prefer genuine filters only because it's easier and the fit is sometimes really much better in those than the ones that you get from the aftermarket manufacturers. So that's one thing I would recommend. Go get the genuine parts. And sometimes the markings and labeling and instructions are very clear in the OEM. So for instance, mine is an Acura here. I would get the original equipment Acura filters, and sometimes I just swap in and out with the generic aftermarket. Same in this case for Toyota. I sometimes get the genuine. It's up to you and your dollar amount that you want to spend on filters, but it's up to you really. But I prefer to go with genuine sometimes. But if in a pinch, sometimes I go with the generic aftermarket. So that's a tip for you. But let's get started. Let's go to the...
Alright, so to change your cabin air filter, you're going to have to jump into your passenger seat. The cabin air filter is usually located in the passenger compartment in the glove box. So open up the glove box, pull out all the stuff that you have, anything loose, because it'll make the work area congested, but you might have some shelving, remove that. And you might want to grab a flashlight for this because it gets dark in here. But what you're seeing is that rectangular piece in the back, that's actually the frame that holds the air filter. And you're going to have to pull out on left and right tabs. There's these little tabs or buttons that you push and it unlocks the filter tray. So let's get to it. And on these left and right, it's a little hard to get in there, so if you want to use a tool or some kind of flathead screwdriver, you can. Most on the tabs. And you should be able to release the tray with the air filter. Alright, let me go at it again. Now I have two hands free. Alright, push in on those tabs and it should unlock. And you're able to slide it out. This is the tray that holds your dirty air filter, or the original one that you had. You'll notice mine has a few leaves and bugs. Also, on the outside, note which direction the air flows. You'll see something that says airflow indication on the outside of the frame. So make sure you have it oriented right. This way, in this one, it's down. You'll notice the dirt in the filter. These filters help your cabin air to dust. Again, here's the airflow indicator, so make sure you know which way is down and which way is the original direction of the tray. Remove the old tray, pop in the new one, and on the new one they should indicate where airflow goes. Follow the directions for your air filter that came in the packaging. In mine, you have to make sure the air filter is actually in line and overlapping the tray. See that black part? It should be right in the filter's area towards the end. That way it creates a nice seal. And that's pretty much it. As long as you've sealed it and that black portion is overlapping into the filter, as I'm pointing out here, then you're good to go. Now with the white filter and everything set up, you put it back right into your opening. Slide in the tray and filter and push it back in. And one thing, if you forgot which way the air flows, typically it flows down. As you can see, that's the fan blade, the rotor. that allows air to be sucked in. So airflow is technically going down, so make sure you follow that. And these filter brackets and trays do not go in unless they're oriented the right way. So make sure they are. And there you go. Slide this filter in, make sure everything's sealed up properly and you've had the overlapping of the filter on the bracket. As you can see here, I'm checking it, making sure everything's good to go, and then just slide it in, and you have to push until you hear a click. Once you hear that, you're done. Yep, and push back and put back everything you have, your shelving, push that back in and everything you have. You just saved yourself $100 by doing this because dealerships technically charge you about $100 to replace this filter, 70 to 100. Next up, we have an air filter I'm gonna change out. This is my air intake. Under the hood of your car, you open it up, and that's the air box you're seeing. This is where the air intake filter is. And what you want to do is release these clamps that hold your air box in place. It's kind of like these snap toggles. Release them and lift up. And I'm going to put the camera to the side so you can see when I pull this filter out how to replace it back in. But that's it. That air filter comes out. You put your new one. And make sure you have it oriented the way the original filter was. So always make sure, like whenever you pull these filters out, how did it look like in the original section, or how did it look like when it was originally placed? Here's the new filter I have in here. Also to note, I have a performance air filter. Gives you a few extra horsepower, but not too much of a big difference between a stock. And you just push this new filter back in place. And what you'll notice is you can't orient this wrong. Basically, if you have it the wrong way, the filter won't sit down flat. All right, let me put this camera to the side here. Lift up the old filter, put it in, and as you're placing it inside, you'll be able to place it in and it should be flush and flat. Basically, it should feel like it's in a slotted position. Put the air filter box back on top, and then snap all the little toggles on. See how I'm inserting them back in? Yep, and it's now flush, everything feels right, and you should be able to easily snap it back in place. This is how you change your air intake filter. Again, this is another 70 to 100 bucks that a dealership may charge you, but if you can do this yourself, you're good. Notice how there's dirt on this filter? That's all what your engine is actually breathing in. So you're reducing a lot of that air, like the dust that gets into your air intake. But there you go, you've changed out the filter. This should help your gas mileage and allow your engine to breathe better. And it's overall just something you should do every 10,000 miles or even more frequently based on your driving conditions. So snap everything back in place, and there you go. You just saved yourself some money and you've done DIY. All right, so I said that I'll have one more last tip to save a lot of gas, and that's to keep your tires inflated to the right pressure. As you can see here, I'm actually putting air into the tire and checking the pressure. So have a tire gauge and check the pressure that you have to inflate it to at the side of your door. Keep that checked monthly because that always helps your tires last a long time and it helps you save on gas. So that's a quick and final tip.